have some breaking news coming into NBA Today. Actually, it's a show of news because this is NBA Today's Emirates NBA Cup schedule release special. I'm Malika Andrews, and during the show, we will release all of the must-see matchups, including who is the toughest and the easiest paths to Las Vegas. Perk, Legs, Andrea Carter, they will help us predict the winners. But remember in July, right, we revealed the groups. 3 from the East, 3 from the West. So just take a look at all this, commit it to memory, and especially take a look at that West Group C over there, right? The group of death. All 5 teams in that group, they have a legitimate chance at making the playoffs. But let's start with revealing some of these specific matchups, shall we? So just take a look at this, right? On November 12th, Klay Thompson, he will make his return to the Bay Area as a member of the Dallas Mavericks. Sorry, Klay, I'm covering your face up a little bit there. Remember, he spent 13 years in Golden State. He won 4 championships there. 5 All-Star selections, and of course a plethora of memories for Dubs fans. But it won't just be a video tribute. I mean, it's going to be a documentary short or a montage, right? When Klay Thompson returns to the Bay, he was one of the best Warriors to ever do it. But it's not the only matchup that stands out. We have a playoff rematch between the 2 beasts of the East, Jalen Brunson and the Knicks, Joel Embiid and the new-look 76ers. And then 3 days later, we have a potential passing of the torch, a little rematch between LeBron and Wemby, which could be their first matchup since the gold medal games last weekend. So it's really safe to say there are plenty of primetime games during the opening week of the Emirates NBA Cup. You can see here we're going to get LeBron and Victor. So let's get into all of this, break it all down. Get your pad and pen ready because these are a lot of dates to remember. Joining me here in Los Angeles is NBA vet, our analyst, Tim Legler in the building. Beaming in from Houston is our NBA champ, Kendrick Perkins, and then our wonderful do-it-all analyst, Andrea Carter. So, Perk, I know you were taking notes on all those matchups. What's your biggest takeaway after seeing just the opening week of games for the tournament?
You know, throughout this offseason, I know we've been talking about a lot about the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, the Olympic team winning the gold medal with Steph Curry, KD, and Bron leading the way. But let's not forget about the guy that was the best player in the Eastern Conference last year, and that's Big Body Brunson, right? Anytime he's on any schedule, my antenna goes up. And I'm looking at the Knicks going back to Philly, right? The Nova boys, where it all started, going back to Philly, and what Jalen Brunson did in this past postseason, averaging 35 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds. We know Tyrese Maxey had his come-out moment. I think when you look at the additions that both teams added, Philadelphia getting Paul George, the Knicks getting Mikal Bridges, I think this is the matchup. Well, I know this is the matchup that I want to see, especially when something is on the line.
Perk, I love it. You went East, I'm going to go West. I think in East, any combination, by the way, Boston, New York, or Philly, any combination of those 3 playing each other. I'm going to go West, Phoenix, OKC in that first week. And here's why. Phoenix coming off, 2 guys on the Team USA with gold medals now playing in Phoenix.
Yep.
This is a team that clearly underachieved a year ago. They had a lot of reasons for that. They made a major coaching change in the offseason with Mike Budenholzer. They also added some nice pieces now with Tyus Jones coming in, Mason Plumlee, Ryan Dunn, the rookie, who can guard just about anybody on the perimeter in the NBA, even right now. Against the young guys, right? This young core in Oklahoma City, it ended up with the #1 seed in the West, but got eliminated in the second round. I think they have a statement to make early and near, both of these teams, in terms of how relevant are they going to be this year in terms of true title contenders, not just great regular seasons. And in the case of Phoenix, they've got to be a lot better than they were a year ago. So I'm really looking at Phoenix's statement in particular early against the #1 seed in the West last year.
I love it. We're going to start now with the Grizzlies visiting the Warriors. This one's on November 15th. Now that Ja Morant is back, Memphis is, fingers crossed, healthy. Perk, will this rivalry be heating up again this season?
I believe so. Anytime you have 2 guys like Ja Morant and Draymond Green, 2 trash talkers, absolutely going to be smoke there. Also, you know, with Marcus Smart, Steph Curry, and Steve Kerr, it's a little tension there as well.
This is going to be fun. How about this? The Emirates NBA Cup continues that Friday night. The Timberwolves, they face off against the Kings. Tim, did the Kings close the gap this offseason?
I definitely think they did. And in talking with Mike Brown out in Vegas, he could not have been more ecstatic over adding DeMar DeRozan to this group. It's the key piece that they needed. A big wing, a proven scorer, a playoff scorer, someone that can supplement the offense for De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. Keegan Murray also has to take a step forward. But this is all about what DeMar DeRozan brings to the Kings.
Well, how about this one? 2 guys we always are talking about in the MVP conversation, Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic. Well, Friday, November 22nd, the Mavs head to Denver. These two teams, last two Western Conference Finals teams. Andrea, which team has a better chance to make a return here?
Oh, this is brutal because the West is so tough, but I'm going to go with the Mavs. I felt like Denver, they had a lackluster offseason. They lose their 3-and-D guy in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I have more questions for Denver, and Klay Thompson is the ultimate answer for Dallas.
Well, what about this one? Now the Emirates NBA Cup wouldn't be complete, right, without the latest showdown between Chet Holmgren and Wemby. They each went at each other last season. Chet, of course, got the edge and wins 2-1, but Victor had better numbers. 20 points, 13 rebounds, 4 blocks in 3 games. The reigning NBA champs, they have a pretty easy path in pool play. I gotta say, the only team the Celtics play that was top 6 in the East last year is the Cavaliers, which they play on November 19th. That's also, of course, a rematch of the Celtics series win over the Cavs in the East semifinals. So then, USA gold medal teammates, they'll face off on TNT Tuesday, November 26th. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, they head to Phoenix to face Kevin Durant, rather. This is a rematch of last season's tournament pool play, where it was the Lakers duo who got the better, right, combining for 58 points in that win. And then I do want to stay in the West here. Nikola Jokic, the Nuggets, they will finish their group of death run against the Warriors on December 3rd. Jokic loves to play in Golden State. He leads Denver to a 4-0 season sweep with the Warriors behind his 32 points a game. That's his averages here. So let's just take a look, a reminder of the teams in each of the Emirates NBA groups, if we could, as we play a little game of fill in the blank. Out West, Group C. I think that's probably going to be the toughest one. 5 potential playoff teams: the Nuggets, Mavs, Pelicans, Warriors, Grizzlies. I don't think I know. In the East, the Knicks, the Magic, the Sixers. They have a tough battle in Group A. And then the Bucks, the Pacers, that budding rivalry, of course, headlining Group B. So let's play fill in the blank now that we've sort of memorized this. I want to start with you here, Perk. Blank, which team has the easiest path to the Emirates NBA Cup?
Well, you said it, Malika. It's the Boston Celtics. Look, outside of the Cavs, they have 3 lottery teams in their pool. The Wizards, the Hawks, and the Bulls. Are you serious? What are we talking about now? The only competition they got is the Cavs. And I know they're going to be without Kristaps Porzingis, but old man Al Horford is still going to rise to the occasion. And again, Jason Tatum is going to be on one this season.
Yep, I agree with you on that. It is the Boston Celtics. All right, Drea, blank has the toughest path then to the Emirates NBA Cup.
That West Group C. That West Group C, like you said, is absolutely brutal. You all know this. I'm a combat sports fan. We have UFC 305 coming up this weekend. I'm calling this West Group C UFC 350 because I expect knockdown, drag-out, cage fights in the best basketball sense with these teams going up against each other. John Morant is going to have something to say to all the teams in the West. Jokic is an absolute beast. Steph Curry, just look at these teams. We've already talked about Klay Thompson and how he answers a ton of questions for the Mavs and the Pelicans. This is the toughest group by far. I don't think it's close.
It's not West Group C, it's West Group UFC. All right, we're going to start with you here, Tim. This one, though, I want to hear from everyone here, because it's time to make some predictions. The time has come. Who is going to win it? Who's going to win the NBA Cup?
I am going with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Right. First of all, I really like their group a lot. I think that's a group that they can win. But more importantly than that, this is a team that I think has to show progression. And they had an incredible year a year ago, but we saw that they were a little bit young, were a little bit green to make that run through the West, even though they were the 1 seed. They go home in the second round to Dallas. How do you make a statement to start the following season? By winning this, because I think this does matter. Last year, year 1 was a tremendous success for this in-season tournament. One thing we saw was it matters to these guys. So if it matters to everybody and you're the Thunder and you want to make a statement about where you are now in year 2 of this, being relevant in the NBA title conversation, that's the way to do it. Run through your group and then run through the tournament into playoffs in this and win the whole thing. And I think they got a great shot at it.
I'm going with the Memphis Grizzlies. I think they're going to win it all when it comes down to the NBA Cup. Look, we know with Ja Morant, he's already said that he's going to come out on a mission, and people better stay out of his way. We know what type of mindset he has. Jaren Jackson Jr., former All-Star a year ago, Defensive Player of the Year, he's going to come back with something to prove. When you look at a guy like Desmond Bain, he's going to come with something to prove. And the guy who I'm looking at the most on the Memphis Grizzlies, who we don't talk about enough, is Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart just witnessed a team that he was on, a team that drafted him, win the NBA championship. You don't think he's going to come back pissed off this season? You don't think he's going to come back the ultimate leader for that young Memphis Grizzlies team and lead those guys and show them the real way of how to be professional and bring a certain type of tenacity on both ends of the floor? Hey, look, I'm telling you, that cup belongs to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Perk, but the cup belongs to the Minnesota Timberwolves because they have a favorable group when you look at their group that they have to go up against. And listen, we just watched Anthony Edwards in the back pocket of Kevin Durant through the entire Olympics. He was standing alongside and playing alongside his favorite player. Two of the greatest GOATs in our game, Steph Curry and LeBron James, were deferring to Anthony Edwards at times. You don't think he's going to carry that momentum to his team that was already in the Western Conference Finals, a team that retained a lot of their pieces, a team that got Rob Dillingham, who had a great summer league. They added an element of shooting to their team. Listen, I think the Minnesota Timberwolves, with what they brought back, the momentum from last season, and the momentum that Anthony Edwards is bringing in from the Olympics, they're going to start off high and they're going to win the cup.
Here on NBA Today, I am the judge and I am the jury. And Andrea Carter is absolutely correct. It will be the Minnesota Timberwolves that are going to win the NBA Cup this year. Just looking at the group they had going up against the Portland Trailblazers, the Clippers are lackluster. The Sacramento Kings are good, but they're still not.
Keep going, Malika.
I'm just saying that looking at this, the Rockets are going to be a team that is going to be in that playoff play-in contention. But we're talking about a Timberwolves team that could be contending for a top 1-2 seed in a really tough Western Conference. And even just looking at the competition in the groups that you all said, Andrea is absolutely
we get
correct.
it, Malika.
All right.
Malika.
What about this?
Hey,
yeah,
Malika. You know, my grandpa used to always say when some people disagree, the next word is bet.
Oh, and that's our next word. Me and Andrea, you bet. All right.